It's Oklahoma sports scene time across the state of Oklahoma. Hello again, everyone. I'm Chris Lincoln, along with the coach, Hall of Famer Gil Cloud, our Tulsa Public Schools Athletic Director. Coach, getting closer and closer to football, our season.
Boy, I can't wait. You know, we've had some NFL games on.
Yep.
That was great, even though we won't see half those guys in another 2 weeks.
Right.
But it's good to see that out there. And, of course, I think this week, isn't Kyler Murray going to play this week?
That's right. It's the first full weekend of preseason football.
Exactly. So there's going to be a lot of things we want to take a look at.
And some guests of Talking Football with Gerry Ostroski, the Big O, as we, of course, know him. A great TU All-American lineman who then had a pro football career. Now he's got a whole new career at TU.
Premium seating director.
That's right.
And he's going to tell us about the prices and how you'll be able to get one of those premium seats if you want to.
And the subject, too, of getting people in the seats, because it's getting more challenging all the time. We've seen college football dropping off in recent years.
Well, we've talked about the emergence of 25 games on the weekend on television.
I know it, yeah.
You almost don't want to leave because you might miss that game to see the local team play.
Our good friend Barry Lewis, the Tulsa World, the prep writer, of course, who does such a fabulous job there. He's going to talk, kind of recap the Allstate week. Really the great time for the West. They really dominated the East this year.
They in the marquee sports, the revenue-producing sports, football and basketball, they were very dominant. And it was really surprising, the football game, 58-17. I've never seen a game in the 50s. All the years that they've had that, set a record, obviously. Basketball was the same way, and we'll just see what happens in the future. I don't know. We're going to talk with Barry today about what his feelings are on the balance of power in football in 5 and 6.
And I would ask him too: are these games, these All-State games, are they relevant anymore, Coach?
My parting shot last time.
That's right.
Was to move them.
Yeah.
Move it up. I think it's great. To have that kid that doesn't think they're going to be an All-Stater become an alternate because somebody else drops out.
Yeah.
But from a fan standpoint, and I can tell you, I can remember going to what it used to be called Skelly Stadium and 25,000 people for the Allstate game.
Yeah, sure. That's
and
right.
I think they had 3,000 this year.
Yeah. Well, Barry Lewis will be with us for that part of the show. And then I asked him to get somebody on, Coach, who could talk about equipping these high school athletes and what it costs, all the different type of equipment, all the advances. You got a good guest for us coming up.
Jason Roberts, and of course, the great thing about Jason is he's one of ours. He went to Tulsa Hill, played football at Tulsa Hill, baseball, ended up playing baseball in college and so on, and coached for a while. And now he's come back as a sales pro for BSN, which gives him a unique perspective of having played, coached, and now he comes back to sell that equipment that those student athletes and coaches need to buy.
Now, Gil Cloud certainly knows what it costs to outfit a high school athlete, but you'll be surprised, I think, with some of the numbers we'll have Jason talk about when he comes up as a guest here. Let's get into it, Coach. It's college football. It's official when that big first preseason poll comes out. And, of course, it is the coaches' poll. It was first announced. Let's start from the bottom going up. Let's take a look at college football's top 25 2019. At the bottom there, let's go on up, Coach. Northwestern starts it out there.
Northwestern, number 25 out of the Big Ten. And, of course, I think speaks volumes, Iowa State.
In there, that's right.
Number 24.
Stanford, Syracuse, Washington State, Michigan State, the University of Tulsa's opening opponent up at East Lansing, Michigan on August 30th. They are ranked number 20. Now let's go into the next group here. Iowa, number 19. Here's the First American Athletic Conference squad, UCF, Central Florida. Big Ten, Wisconsin, Auburn, Utah, Penn State, Oregon, Washington, Texas A&M. Now, coaches, go to the top 10.
Well, I'll tell you one thing about 16 Auburn. That might get him fired. If he's at 16, I don't know if he can. If Gus Malzahn can weather that storm. And then we get into the top 10, and I still think that they're overrated as they could be. The Texas Longhorns. For Ellinger to say, we're back.
Yeah.
Back where? Back in Austin? Or where are you? I'll have to see that to believe they're a top 10 football team.
They're number 10. Notre Dame, that played in the national championship semifinals. They came in this year number 9. Florida 8. Michigan 7. LSU 6. And now to the top 5, Gil.
Ohio State, even with a coaching change, they feel like they have the talent in Columbus to be a top 5 football team, and they probably do. It's the top team in the Big Ten. the highest ranked team.
And the rest are pretty much the same usual suspects, as they say. That is Oklahoma, number 4 in the nation, Georgia 3, Alabama 2, and Clemson, the first 15-0 team in college football history, the reigning national champions. They are favored over Alabama. Most people projecting again, please help us, a Clemson, Alabama national championship game again.
I thought something was all over interesting. Over the weekend, I read a story about the stability of Division I football staffs. And one of the stories indicated that Clemson has what they truly believe is a family atmosphere around their football program. The coaches don't leave. The same coaches have been there for 4 or 5 years together. They pay them very well. I think Brett Venables now making $2 million as a coordinator.
That's right.
Isn't that something?
Yeah.
It's amazing. However, you look number 2 in the nation, Alabama, he had to replace 7 coaches this year.
Yeah.
Now, that speaks volumes to the work ethic and the workload that goes on. So we'll see if the friendlier and nicer beats the more aggressive.
College football camps are now open, of course. All the Big 4 schools are underway. We can tell you also that college football opening schedule, Friday, August 30th, 2 of our teams get underway. The University of Tulsa plays at Michigan State on FS1 at 6 p.m. You just enjoy this because on Friday, following that at 9:30 p.m., again FS1, it's Oklahoma State. They're opener. The Cowboys way out west to play at Oregon State. Then on August 31st, Saturday, Arkansas has a scrimmage lined up with Portland State, 3 p.m. game on SEC TV. Then the big one of the weekend, Oklahoma against Houston. The Sooners will host the Cougars. And the return, of course, of our good friend coming in, Dana Holgerson, back from West Virginia. That is a 6:30 kickoff, the only college football game on Sunday night on ABC National. Quite a stage for the Sooners.
That's going to be, I think, a very interesting evening to see how well Dana Holgerson has gotten that Houston program based on what they paid him to come there, what they paid him to leave West Virginia. And I hope for Arkansas's sake that Portland State's not a trap game.
Please.
You know, because sometimes you get into those trap games and that's not a good situation. Oklahoma State, Oregon State, I think should be a heck of a football game.
Look forward to that.
If Oklahoma State can figure out who their quarterback is.
Exactly. NFL preseason is underway. We mentioned the Hall of Fame football game. And this coming weekend, the first full weekend of NFL football preseason games, everybody's playing this weekend. NBA remains in the news here in the state of Oklahoma, of course. Major trades. No team is busier than the Oklahoma City Thunder, trading 2 MVP candidates, or not candidates, 2 MVP stars, Russell Westbrook and Paul George. They're gone. But now in return, the Thunder have 15 first-round draft choices over the next 7 NBA drafts. So what are they, rebuilding? Let's hear from General Manager Sam Presti on that.
I wouldn't say that we've started to rebuild. As I said before, the primary focus for our organization, based on the circumstances that we inherited this summer, is first, we need to reposition the franchise. Second to that, we need to replenish the franchise after 11 years of not ever being able to do that because we were in such a pursuit for maintaining a team that could get to the postseason and contend in the postseason year after year after year. And then ultimately, we will, just like every team in the NBA or in pro sports, ultimately have to rebuild the team. But that tends to happen organically. I can't sit here and tell you like when that process will enact itself, only that our vantage point and our view is always going to be to create the most and longest runway for success, and not to shortcut that. And that our decisions from this point on are going to be based on generating as much value for the organization as possible so that we at some point can recreate an elongated period of success like we've been fortunate to have.
All right, Gil, what do you think?
I don't know. I'm not sure that Sam really impressed me with his rhetoric. I would like to know, Chris, I'd like to know, what is the strategy? What are we trying to do? It looks like, we have a note here about Caesar's Palace saying that the over and under is 31 wins. If they go 31 wins, not only will they lose some players, they're going to lose their coach.
And maybe some fans, too.
Well, they'll lose a lot of fans.
Wow. Hope the best for the Thunder. It'll be interesting coming up, the 1920 season. Tulsa Drillers, by the way, look at the head of the schedule, August 12th to the 15th. Springfield comes in, and their final homestands August 20th to 25th for the regular season. And the struggling Roughnecks coming off a 1-1 tie over in Oklahoma City. Their next match is August 10th on the road against the Real Monarchs. Then they're also in Austin on the 17th. They'll come back for 2 home matches, August 28th and August the 31st. Next, we'll have the Big O, Gerry Ostroski, to talk about TU football and premium seating straight ahead on Oklahoma Sports Scene.
Cheers.
Cheers. All right, y'all, how's everything tasting?
That is awesome.
I come bearing gifts of the liquid variety.
Bricktown Brewery. Come and get it.
Whether it's a wedding, birthday, family reunion, or company event, give your next big event a unique country feel at our Red Barn Event Center located just north of Tulsa. We feature plenty of party room inside and out for up to 350 guests, a huge open floor space, and even a big stage. The Red Barn features a full kitchen, separate bride and groom dressing areas. Outside weddings are beautiful under our 100-year-old pecan tree. For your next big event, with a do-it-yourself wedding, the Red Barn Event Center is the perfect choice. Booking now for future events.
TU fans, football season is here, and the Golden Hurricane has one of the best home schedules in school history. Season tickets are on sale now, or purchase our 3-game mini plan. The plan includes in-state rival Oklahoma State, along with Navy on Military Appreciation Game, and 2-time defending league champion UCF, all for only $90. To get your tickets, call 918-631-GO-TU or visit TulsaHurricane.com/tickets.
Always good to welcome into Oklahoma Sports Scene our good friend, the Big O, Gerry Ostroski of the University of Tulsa. We know him as an All-American football player, a pro football player, and now he's also a guy who controls the suites and the premium seat tickets for the University of Tulsa. Gerry O, welcome. Tell us about your new assignment over at TU.
Well, I'm Director of Premium Seating is the title they gave me.
Right.
I didn't necessarily want a title. I said just let me kind of do my thing, but they had to give me a title, and that's what they gave me. So basically I run the club seats and the suites. And just getting that information out there to the people, knowing we have some seats available, have some suites available, and just trying to make that whole game day experience the best that it can be.
What's the market out there like for premium seating?
Well, we've sold quite a few. I mean, we've sold almost 50 so far in a couple of months, which is good, you know. But it's kind of a weird market with our tax laws nowadays, and some things that have been done as far as money that's tied to seating and things of that nature. So it's a little bit different. I mean, there's some things that are challenging to it, but the best thing about it is we have people that want to support the program, and they want to be there, and there's no better way to watch Hurricane football than either club seats or the suites. So we've had quite a bit of interest.
Gerry's talking about, obviously, the product is what counts. And looking at also the schedule, a very attractive home schedule at the University of Tulsa.
It is. It's probably the best schedule we've had at home in quite some time. Maybe, of course, for sure, since Monty's been there. I mean, we've got Oklahoma State that's in town. We've got Memphis coming in. Of course, they're a top 25 team. Everybody likes to see Navy.
Yeah.
Navy's a big deal. Wyoming is coming back after a hiatus. We have Houston coming in. So we've got quite a challenging schedule at home. It's a great home schedule, and there's no excuse for you to not be out there.
So Dana gets to come back to Oklahoma.
Yes,
Twice.
he does. He gets to come back, and from what I understand, he enjoys Tulsa. So maybe he won't enjoy it too much when he gets up
He
here.
does it, yeah.
We hope that he does it as well.
On your premium seating, Gerry, is it an extended period, a 3-year period, 10-year period, or
Well,
one
you can
time?
do that if you wish, but usually what people do is they buy it at a one-year period. So you have a seat license fee that depends upon where you sit.
Right.
So as you get closer to the 50-yard line, the more the seat license fee goes up. Suites are pretty much a base price unless you do a 3-year or more deal, and we can do some things there. Next year we'll probably tweak some stuff just to kind of stay with the times. I didn't get there until April, so I'm kind of a little bit behind the 8 ball, so to speak. But we got a website out there. You can go to TulsaHurricane.com, go to tickets, go to premium seating. You can see pictures of our club seats, pictures of our suites. Get the information you may need. We added premium parking with our club seats this year.
That's important, yeah.
And so these are some of the things that I wanted to do. Some of the things, because I'm kind of in a different situation than most. I've been a supporter of the program. I've been a fan. Now I'm back working there, so I kind of have a little bit of a little bit different situation than most. So I've kind of seen it from both sides.
You have insight to the whole
Exactly.
thing. Will this carry into the basketball season as well?
It will. As a matter of fact, we're just now releasing our basketball seats for next year. People can renew their season tickets and get ready to buy seats for the basketball season as well. I think next year you'll probably see us make a move towards something new as far as our pricing structure goes with basketball. Nothing I can talk about right now.
Yeah.
But in 2019, there's some things that need to be done differently, and we're willing to do that. I think it's one thing that I really enjoy about the group that I work with is they are progressive thinking, and they always look at the market or look at the way things are going, and they're willing to change and not just continually do the same thing over and over again.
And that was always a concern of a lot of TU football fans, parking.
Yes.
Always came as a big sub. We even talked about building a parking garage on campus at one point.
You know, what's funny, Chris, is that parking really, in most of these universities, is the number one commodity. I mean, it's something that all these organizations have to deal with. Parking, and that there's been some studies about games and stuff and attendance and all of that. One of the things that people talk about, one of the number one concerns is access, parking. How do they get there? What do they have to do? So it is something that us as a group has addressed, or we try to address regularly, and we try to do the best we can to provide the best experience for our fans.
And that's a difficult buy because you use it 5 times during football season, maybe 10 times during basketball season. And the rest of the time, even though you might have student parking, faculty parking, the preponderance of use is going to be on those weekends.
Well, the thing that's nice about it is we do such a good job with our Golden Hurricane Club that your parking also brings you, when you pay for premium parking, it also brings you other amenities that comes with supporting the athletic program at the University of Tulsa. So it's not like you're just buying a parking spot. You know, it's not like you're going to New York City and buying a parking spot and you're paying $200,000 and that's all you get is a parking spot. I mean, you actually get other things with your Golden Hurricane Club level that allows you to park in these different areas.
Yes, Gerry Nemick, our friend at the Tulsa World, and probably you saw it too, did a column recently about what schools need to start doing and communities to start fighting back against, the TV people, making it so easy for people to stay home and not come to events. And college football attendance has been dropping for the last several years, Gerry. It's something we all have to address. I know, talk about OU is adding like more Wi-Fi access, things like that.
OU has it figured out. I mean, I've said it for quite some time. Wi-Fi and bringing this thing right here, this phone, we don't want to, they consider us old guys that scream at clouds. Okay, that's what the millennials consider us, right?
That's right?
I'm a millennial. I'm not a millennial. I'm with you.
Yeah,
I just turned 49. But anyway, that's a whole nother story. But this controls everything. Kids nowadays, when you wanted that glove or you wanted that ball bat or you wanted those pair of shoes, you hustled, you saved, you did whatever, and then eventually you were able to get it, right? Well, nowadays, 2 buttons, boom, they got exactly what they want. So you have to figure out how to incorporate that into the game day experience. And that's what OU's doing with the increased Wi-Fi. And I think you're going to see it at a lot of places. They're on to something.
My experience being on the NCAA Football Rules Committee taught me a valuable lesson that, especially at Division I, TV rules the roost.
Yes, it does.
They tell you when to play and how long you're going to play. They make the rules. And I think that's one of the things I think that probably has helped the TV viewer to stay at home. Because, I know when I was on the committee, we were going through that process of the timing.
Right.
And we went with the 40-second clock because the NFL had gone with the 40-second clock. And Mike Piera from Fox Sports indicated to us, he was with the NFL then, that saved them 8 minutes. Well, 8 minutes of commercial time for TV is everything in the world.
I remember I would be sitting in the huddle waiting to go, and the guy with the orange glove on his hand would be out in the middle of the numbers holding you up before you could do anything. But I think that's where nowadays, and you look at what we got in the AAC with the new television contract, there's so much emphasis being placed upon streaming. Okay, you hear the term streaming now a lot, and I think that's really the way things are going. And that's why that they gave the money that they did to the AAC, where maybe we can't do it to the what they call quote unquote Power Fives, but we can take the top conference just below that, and now we create all this content because it's not just football and basketball, guys. We're responsible here real soon. If softball or tennis or track, whatever, is on our campus having a competition, we're going to have to provide streaming content for ESPN. It's coming. And that's where the Wi-Fi's and stuff go, because think about it now, you can go to a game and watch the game in real time on, so it's,
I know.
the capabilities are endless.
And it is still a war of facilities, too.
Yes.
You've got to keep up to date with everything these kids expect, want, and look for. The high-end locker rooms. Remember your locker room under Scully Stadium you guys had there, Gerry? I think about beautiful facilities they have now at TU.
It'll be an archaeology dig one day on that one end of Scully.
Oh,
There's no
nasty.
doubt.
I remember that.
But you think about it, guys. It still comes down to if things aren't working, the only fix is hard work.
Yeah.
I don't care what kind of facilities you have and what kind of streaming capabilities or uniforms, and you got a guy coming in to talk about helmets and shoulder. The only fix for this and success is work. And I think that's, I'm getting an opportunity to talk to the kids tomorrow night at TU, our football team.
Right.
And that's really going to be my number one thing with them is no matter what, if you don't put the work in, it's not going to happen.
Yeah. And they're coming off that 3-9 season. They've been picked again last in the West in the American Athletic Conference. But of course, I love Coach Montgomery. He's always optimistic, as you are this time of year anyway. But it just sounds like that things are a little different this year coming into fall practice.
This is a really good football team.
Good to hear. Yeah.
I went out today and watched them for a little bit. I'm going to go out and watch them again tomorrow.
Yeah.
They're different. The way they hold themselves is different. The way they walk around is different.
They look different too.
They look different. Yeah. And I think people will be surprised. And to be honest with you, this is how I like it. I want pick us last.
Yeah.
We're the smallest Division I university in the United States of America.
Isn't that amazing?
That's okay.
Yeah.
That's the type of mentality that the kids have to have.
Yeah.
And when you embrace that and you accept that, they'll be fine.
I was saying to my friend Bill Blankenship, when they picked him last, he said, I just thought it was alphabetical. didn't bother Bill at all. He went on to win a bunch of games as Monty did the first year too.
Exactly.
Oh gosh.
Well, in their division, like you say, with the home schedule they have and everything, if they could catch fire a little early, that could really, really be a catalyst for that season to go the other direction.
Exactly. They've got some big time players on defense. They've got 3 or 4 of them that could start anywhere. They really do. Zaven Collins being one of them, Gibson being one of them. Edmondson is a heck of a player. They've got a couple of defensive backs that are really, really good. Offensively, I think that while they lose, and you have to understand something, they're losing 3 players. 2 of them are still in NFL camps.
Good,
one of them was.
Yeah.
You're losing 3 NFL caliber offensive linemen. After what I saw today, they're going to be okay.
Good.
They're a little bit young, but they're going to be fine once they play a little bit. But this is a team that has that, and we talk about it. You can talk about it. It's the thing to talk about with this group right now. What's going to happen with the guy who pulls the trigger? And that's going to be the key.
Director of Premium Seating. One more chance. Sell some seats for us.
We've got a lot of stuff going on. We've got OSU tickets starting at $75. We've got our mini packs that start at $100 to $90. And if you look at that, it's much cheaper and more economical to buy that mini pack because not much more than buying a single game OSU ticket, you can get yourself 3 games.
Oh, smart.
And then also go to TulsaHurricane.com. We have tailgating spots available out on the Chapman Commons. And lots of really, really good stuff going on at TU. If you're an alum, you should be proud. It's good stuff.
Good game day experience at the University of Tulsa. We have something for you, Big O.
Tell you what, let's go by Bricktown and get you a bite to eat tonight.
Awesome.
There you go.
Thanks, man.
Gerald, thank you, buddy, as always.
Stuff. Thank you very much.
Good luck.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
Get out and support your University of Tulsa football team. Also, we have, don't forget, coming up, we have our Golden Hurricane football kickoff luncheon August 13th at noon. They've changed venues. We'll be out at the Grand Ballroom of the River Spirit Casino, right?
And I'll be a part of that as well.
Looking forward to that. So TU fans, get out there. Get ready to support the Golden Hurricane. We're coming back. Right back with more with Barry Lewis. We'll talk high school football.
The service is amazing.
Food's delicious.
I love the avocado fries.
I love the energy.
Local beer, great food, truly friendly service.
Look all right for you?
Bricktown Brewery, come and get it.
Each week we talk about the GTR, and we know for a fact that Forrest Cameron and his wife Sharon put out a tremendous paper. Well, I brought all 6 of them today. I'd like for you to see them. The Union Boundary, and here is the Owasso Rambler. And if you live in Bixby, how about the Bixby Breeze or Broken Arrow, the Broken Arrow Express, Jinx, District Gazette, and then of course the Tulsa Midtown. All of those, the GTR. If you haven't had an opportunity to read one, Do it, and you'll be proud of it.
Man, look, for us, Cowboy football is way more than just Cowboy football. This is who we are. We come to Boone Pickens Stadium as many, but in this sea of orange, we stand as one. And we all know what it looks like. The crowd roaring, arms waving, and bullet flying. It's the paddles popping, the shotgun firing, and the fans rocking. It's our passion, our heart, our family, and our team. Because at Oklahoma State, it's who we are.
It's always good on Oklahoma Sportscene to welcome our good friend Barry Lewis. He is the prep columnist for the Tulsa World. Done a great job with high school athletics. Barry, you had a busy couple of weeks here just recently. Of course, the All-State Week, which I guess now is going to be extended and stay in Tulsa for some of the events, right?
That's the way it's looking, and it's been very successful in Tulsa. It's had the longest run ever in Tulsa. It's been here in Tulsa since 2009, and it looks like, at least for the foreseeable future, it's going to remain in Tulsa.
And it was a very good all-state week for the west side of the state. They really dominated a lot of areas.
Well, at least in the, quote, marquee events.
Right.
Football, wow, what a route that was.
How'd that happen?
Yeah, I'm still wondering how that happened because it looked like it was going to be a really good game for a quarter, and then all of a sudden things just snowballed. And the West 58-17. I mean, I never thought that there'd be a combined 58 points in an all-state football game, much less one team scoring them all. And it just really happened in a hurry. Hobart's Alec Meinert, I wasn't really that familiar with him because Hobart doesn't really play in our area of the state a lot, but he really impressed me. He threw for 3 touchdowns, ran for another, threw for about 200 yards, and then it was a real interesting story. Tipton's Samaj McBride, little Tipton, powerhouse of 8-man, Class C football, and he showed he could play against the big guys. My goodness, you can see why Tipton was so successful. I mean, he looked like he belonged with the best in Oklahoma, so that was really impressive to me.
I think one of the things that is really exciting that we talked about earlier, Barry, is that it gives a lot of these kids a couple of different kinds of opportunities. One, to showcase their talent. And in some cases, this is the last time that they're ever going to play before people that will pay to watch them play. But it's a great venue, I think, for them, and to have that honor, whether you're an alternate or not. It doesn't say alternate on your All-State jacket. It says All-State.
Absolutely, and in fact, if you do not show up for the games, you're not going to get an All-State jacket or the, quote, official All-State recognition. Some of the most fun stories from All-State Week are from an athlete who gets that last-minute phone call. Jake Banfield, fine basketball player from Manford. That was one of the fun stories of the week. He really wanted to be an All-State selection. He, in my mind, deserved to be on the team originally. And his grandfather had been an All-State coach, Bob Banfield. And then his uncle and coach, Mike Banfield, from Manford, had been an All-State coach twice. And so Jake really wanted it. And he was waiting for it, and then the call came like 24 hours before game time that he was going to be named as replacement, and he was just so thrilled to be there and really deserved that honor.
What do you think makes Tulsa so appealing to the Coaches Association?
The Coaches Association has a great relationship with the hotels, the host hotels, and that's huge. Give great, very affordable fees. And you've got great on-site parking. That's so important, and that puts Tulsa in contrast to Oklahoma City, where the last time they had the games in Oklahoma City, the rates weren't so great and the parking wasn't so great. So that's really important. Plus the host university, Oral Roberts, does a great job hosting them, and great venue for basketball and volleyball. And so Oral Roberts University combined with the hotels here, that's a really great combination in Tulsa's favor. As opposed to Oklahoma City, the Coach Association feels like since the Oklahoma City Thunder came to town, that the high school, the coaches, Allstate games, there really hasn't been that desire from the Oklahoma City area to really make a bid for that.
And the venues they have to play in on this side of the state are more condensed. I remember the one year where they had one in Norman and one in Edmond, and we were all, and one in Yukon. We were all over the place trying to go see your kids.
And the basketball, I mean, you want the All-State game to have a special feel. And the All-State games, in 2008, the last time it was in the Oklahoma City area, this is not, it was played in a high school facility. It was a nice high school facility, but it still was like, and that was when they really needed a larger one because it was Keaton Page and Rodney Clark playing. They had a full house that night.
Yeah.
But you really wanted to make it a special event. And playing in Mabee Center, even if the crowds aren't very big, Mabee Center is still such a show place for basketball. And so that really makes it feel special for the kids.
Barry, we talked about this. Gil's had an opinion on it too, and I've heard a lot of feedback. Are these all-state, all-star type games, are they relevant anymore, especially with the big pressure of the big colleges where they want to protect their Division I recruits, don't want them playing in all-star games? How relevant are these games now? How important are they?
They're probably, obviously, you're not getting 30,000 for the football game like when we were in high school, Gil.
Right.
And you're not getting the Mabee Center filled up like you used to. But they're still very relevant to the players who play in them and their parents, their families. Most of them are thrilled to be there. Yeah, the football game has taken a big hit because you're getting virtually no Division I athletes to play in the football game, at least major college Division I athletes. Although it was interesting this year that Holland Hall's Alex Felkins, who's going to be playing in the U.S. All-American Bowl in San Antonio, he played in the game. So that's always cool. And you had Mason Fine 3 years ago playing the game, so you do have some exceptions. But for the most part, the major college guys aren't going to be in the game. So the football game's taking a hit, but you still see some good football. And for those who take part, it is very meaningful.
High school football time in Oklahoma, Gil. The dates are set here. Let's talk about it, Barry.
Well, we start
August
practice
12th, right?
Monday the 12th.
Wow.
Yep.
So talk about these big dates coming up and what you're looking forward to in the preseason here.
Well, August 12th, the start of fall practice, and then before you know it, 0 week will be here on August 29th, 30th, and 31st, not to mention the All-City preview in the week of scrimmages, I guess on August 22nd and 23rd. And so high school football is almost here for real. And what I'm looking for in Class 6A1, I think it's going to be wide open.
More challenges from the West, do you think, this time, Barry?
It could be. See, I think if someone from the West is that good, this might be the year where the East might be a little vulnerable. Although I'm still going to go with where can't release the rankings yet.
Sure, yeah.
But I think the teams who've been good in the past, the traditional powers, the so-called Big Four from the East, they're still going to be really good. Broken Arrow and Owasso, I think, are going to be loaded, and you can never discount Union and Jenks.
Sure.
But from the West side, Mustang, I've coached Lee Blankenship. He does such a great job wherever he goes. And so I think Mustang's a program that they've had some success, but I think they could really take off. So look out for them. And again, if a team from the West is good enough, this might be the year to break through.
How about 6A2?
6A2, it's hard to pick against Bixby. Winners of 4 of the last 5 state championships. And if it's not, Bixby has they have so many people coming back, including their starting quarterback, and going back to 6A1, that's very interesting because the so-called Big Four, none of the quarterbacks return. So none of the starting quarterbacks return. So that's going to be a question mark for the East teams. But in 6A2, Mason Williams is back at Bixby, returning quarterback. So I think, along with Brennan Presley, star receiver, OSU commit. So I think Bixby's got a lot coming back. They'd be the favorites. But Stillwater, which reached the championship game last year, they've got a lot coming back.
Yep.
So they're going to be a very serious threat. And also never overlook Booker T. Washington.
What about 5A?
5A, I think it's going to be really wide open.
Wide open. That's got to keep reading. Wide open.
Very wide open.
Yeah.
Again, I'm not going to discount Midwest City Carl Albert.
Correct. They got a program, but I tell you, Edison's going to be better.
Well, of course, you got Savion Morrison.
Right.
That he can carry you a long ways. And I think Collinsville, look out for Claremore. Claremore is really poised for a big year. So, and Bishop Kelly as well.
And we'll see here shortly if the ADM numbers change, because we will not know until September on football. We know everything else, but because of the two schools in Oklahoma City closing, Centennial and Northeast Academy, that's going to make a little bit of difference in where those students go to school.
Of course, that has no effect on this year, just the 2 years following as far as football is concerned.
Scheduling
for
in the
football,
future,
yes.
We have something for you for joining us, as always, here.
Well, we don't have Jimmy's, but we have Bricktown.
All right, I love Bricktown Brewery. Awesome place.
And we love the fact Ray Lewis will be with us again throughout the football season and throughout all our high school sports seasons. He'll, of course, be giving us our high school player and coach of the month. The first Monday we tape will be the first Wednesday show every month. Tulsa World provides us with our top coach and player, and we'll start on that first one coming up pretty soon, Gil.
It will just next in September.
That's right.
Yeah.
Ray, thanks for joining us.
All right, thanks, Chris.
All right,
Thanks,
guys.
Gil.
Look forward to it. We'll come back and talk more football equipment with Jason Roberts. He's a specialist at BSN. Talk about the cost of outfitting a high school football player. You'll be amazed.
At Rogers State University, we keep things personal.
It all starts here.
We make sure our graduates get the most out of their education.
RSU has campuses in Claremore, Bartlesville, and Pryor, with on-campus housing and a wide variety of programs to suit your needs.
It all starts here.
Rogers State University.
Cheers.
All right, y'all, how's everything tasting?
That is awesome.
I come bearing gifts of the liquid variety.
Bricktown Brewery. Come and get it.
Welcome back to Oklahoma Sports Scene. We have a special guest today. Jason Roberts is a sales pro for BSN, which is an equipment supply company for all athletic business. And I'm going to tell you, I've been through their warehouse. There's not anything athletic that they can't supply. Jason, welcome to the show.
Hey, thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Tell us about those brands. I see a Nike swoosh on you, but who are some of the ones you guys represent?
Well, we're actually entering year 3 of an agreement with Tulsa Public Schools. We carry things like Nike, Shut right here. We have anything from Under Armour to Champion, Asics. Really, you name it, we have it. We're like the Walmart of sporting goods.
Isn't BSN the largest supplier of Nike product?
We are the largest team dealer in the United States.
Yeah.
We currently have about 1,500 sales pros across the country, and we're split up into regions and states and districts, and we have our own branch managers and all that.
Well, nobody knows the costs of high school athletics more than this guy right here, Gil Clark. He's the one writing the checks with, 9 Tulsa Public Schools. How many athletes? We're talking about football?
Well, we have 3,500 athletes. We have 19 secondary schools with our middle schools. And so it's an expensive endeavor, but it's something that we've committed to. I think our district's committed to. And we look for BSN to provide the quality equipment for our kids, because the health and safety of our kids is the most important.
How many football guys are you dressing?
Oh, we'll have 700 football.
So to get them the best equipment at the best price, you do with BSN here. But let's talk about some of the advances, even since you played for Tulsa Hale, right? So
I did. I'm a 2002 graduate of Hale High School, born and raised in Tulsa, and now I'm able to give a little bit back from the perspective of taking something off their plate by freeing up some time so they can focus on being a teacher and a coach.
What have been some of the great advances in the equipment over the years?
Oh man, the weight of a helmet, that's the biggest thing.
Right.
There's all this talk about concussions and protection for youth. I mean, kids are playing football in second grade now. So the changes have been, the weight of the helmet. There's more padding, but it weighs less. The advances, for example, this is a shut helmet,
right?
And there's just ability. There's a little bit of flex in the top of it, and then from the inside, you can see there's more padding than the leather helmets you guys possibly played with.
Thank you.
A long time ago. But it can be aired up. The padding can be changed. We can change the size of the ear pads, jaw pads, and then of course mouthpieces and chin straps come with it. So that's a little bit about helmets from a shoulder pad perspective. These are one of the BSN main ones we carry. These are called Z-Cool.
Grab your helmet here.
Yeah, sorry about that. Very light, enough to cover, we talk about AC sprains and some of that stuff, and I'm not a doctor, but there's a lot of injuries to the shoulders, and these are light and provide enough coverage to protect the players.
That's a set for skilled players, right?
Yes, this is right. So this would be for somebody more my size.
Receivers?
I know Gerry.
Big O's
on here sometimes. He would not be wearing these. So.
I'm so fascinated by the helmet here. Let's talk about the cost of helmets now, and I know it can vary and stuff, but basically give us an idea of what a helmet like this would cost.
For someone of youth sizes, they can run anywhere from $200 to $300. For high school players, it can be $250 up to about $700 or $800.
And I was shocked that the difference in a lot of big price comes with this face mask.
Yeah, and the crazy thing about this is a carbon face mask. So this will put you in about the $350, $400 range with a titanium face mask, which, I mean, we're putting titanium in people's bodies for knee replacement.
We know that, don't we, Gil?
Titanium will run the helmet up to about $700, but we're always running a special.
Good. That's what Gerry O said too. Yeah. But so how about to dress these kids out, Gil? I mean, from helmet to shoulder pads to padding and shoes and stuff. Give us an idea. What are we talking about?
Well, a high school kid will be anywhere from $650 to $700.
A player.
A player. And what we have to do, on an annual basis, especially with helmets, is to have them recertified. Once you buy a helmet, it's not just a helmet forever.
Right.
There's an oxy seal in there that has a date, and that date tells you when that helmet goes out of date. And we have to take all those. And here's the other thing about helmets, which is really interesting. We can't just take that helmet and throw it in the dumpster. We have to take that helmet and crush it.
Really?
Because if a kid would walk by,
yeah,
get that helmet out of the dumpster, put that helmet on, go out and become a quadriplegic, we're liable.
Wow.
Because we're the last owner of the helmet.
Yeah. I remember going to an AD's convention in Reno, Nevada, and a guy by the name of Rick Ball was the lead attorney for Rydell helmets. And the very first, this was back in the 80s, right,
and the very first helmet case was coming down. It was $8 million, a Florida young man who was a quadriplegic. And Rick said, he told our group, he said, I knew that it was going to be a long day in court when I objected to the plaintiff's line of questioning. And the judge said, we're not here to hear you object. We're here to see how much money this kid's going to get.
Ooh, yeah.
And from that point on, and that's what's driven the cost, is the insurance
that
the helmet provider, the manufacturer, the salesperson, and then the school district has to have to be able to play football.
Yes,
so and they do have to be recertified every 2 years.
Every 2 years.
And at 10 years, the helmet's no good.
They're done.
Yeah.
So 10 years, it's done. And the price on that, not only are you paying for the helmet, like this is a Schutt F7, you're not only paying $700 for this helmet, but to get it recertified is about $60 every 2 years. Yeah. So there's a recurring cost just to make sure.
See, we'll send off over 300 in junior high alone.
Really? Yeah.
Just for junior high helmets.
Jason Roberts here, BSN Sales Pro, talking about some of the equipment here that making our kids safe. And of course, the big issue in football at all levels, Jason, is the concussion issue. And it's reached from the Pee Wee football to the NFL. What's being done by the manufacturers to try to make these things safer?
Like I said earlier, making it lighter with better padding, where it's not as, and some people may look at that as, and I'm not a scientist or manufacturer, but just being able to the material has to be of a quality that'll protect them.
Yeah.
And it's our, as a former coach also, it's your job as a coach to make sure that they're in something safe, that the parents can let them run out there and play without having any worry.
You know, as we matriculate through this football season, there's a new emphasis going to be placed on targeting. And of course, you know, with the helmets the way they are, and Jason had a great point there. The helmets were so heavy at one point, it had a tendency to have your head go down, which is the paramount thing you do not want to happen when you face up to tackle or to block an individual. We're doing a deal in Tulsa Public Schools. We're the only district in the state that's going to require all of our football coaches to go to USA Football. And USA Football is an instructional program that tells people how to block and tackle.
Right.
Literally from the very elementary all the way up to the most sophisticated. And I think that's one of the things that everybody else will get into. But you can't coach football in TPS unless you go through the program.
So important to that, and of course the equipment you mentioned too to keep these young men safe at all levels of football. Jason, what do you think's the future? What's going to be coming after this?
For helmets and shoulder pads, I don't know. All I know is I love football. You guys love football, and whatever these companies have to do to protect those kids, so people will keep playing and we keep being entertained. Then, you know, I'm fully behind it. So that's about all I can get.
You know, there were those in the '80s really, when that concussion case went down, that panicked and said, "I think we're going to see the demise of high school football." I said, schools cannot afford to be able to be in that position. Well, that's not the case.
Yeah.
You know, high school football is as big as it's ever been, it's going to be. And I think Jason's correct. I think the manufacturer will figure out a way to protect that student athlete. And we got to figure out a way to be able to teach proper technique.
And underscores for you, again, the fundraising for the Tulsa Public School systems and all athletes.
That's the key. And, you know, we'll talk to Gerry today, and, you know, one of the things he'll emphasize is that they have premium seats. Well, part of those premium seat prices go to buy equipment.
Sure.
I mean, it's all out there. You have to really work at it and we have to assist a lot of our schools because our schools operate strictly on gate receipts.
Yeah.
There's no general fund money that goes to any of the high schools to be able to play athletics. So if we don't assist them in the fundraising to be able to buy quality equipment, jerseys, pants, everything that goes into having a football program, it's quintessential to raise money.
Well, Jason Roberts, busy time of year for you and BSN. Thanks for joining us here.
Thank you.
We have some of you for taking the time here.
Well, Jason, you can take your lovely wife to Bricktown.
I appreciate it. Thank
Enjoy.
you, guys.
You bet.
Thanks for keeping our young athletes safe, too. Appreciate it very much. All right. Again, we're going to right back with more on Oklahoma Sports Scene. Our Remington Report, first of the season, is straight ahead.
At Bricktown Brewery, we're known for our famous original craft beers like Single String Stout and Bluesberry Ale. Did you know we also brew our own root beer at our Oklahoma City brew house? It's called Attaboy Root Beer, and you'll love it no matter what your age. Just ask for a Bricktown Kids menu with all the favorites for our guests 12 and under. Bricktown Brewery opens every day at 11 a.m.
The Eschbach 6E Ranch on 800 acres north of Tulsa invites you to know the benefits of miniature Herefords. The 6E has always been committed to providing the finest quality meats. Our hormone-free beef is always on grass, then grain-fed the last 90 days to that perfect mix of marbling and taste. We will deliver the animal to a USDA-inspected facility. All you have to do is pick up your vacuum-packed processed meat. Fill your freezer with the finest quality beef at the best price. We also specialize in registered miniature Herefords for breeding and show. Call the 6E Ranch today.
Well, the 2019 Thoroughbred Racing season at Remington Park in Oklahoma City is getting near. It kicks off on August the 23rd, runs through December the 15th. Stables are open, the track is open, and Dale Day has our opening report from Remington.
The opening night of the 2019 Thoroughbred season at Remington Park fast approaching. Horses are moving into the barn area, taking up their stalls, and getting set for the start of racing on August 23rd. Oklahoma Racing Hall of Fame trainer Joe Offholder won early bird honors this preseason as he was the first to bring horses into the stable area once it opened.
It's home for us and get to be closer to home. It was a little bit cooler earlier in the morning, so we just started early. You get here and you're at home and you're more relaxed, and just seems like everything goes a little better.
While Dibble, Oklahoma's Joe Offholder was the first to bring horses into the barns, it was trainer Veronica Griggs of Jones, Oklahoma, who had the first horse on the racetrack once it opened for training. Pop Fly 2-6 was first on the track for Griggs for a good reason.
I sent him first because he's a very happy camper. He needs to get out as soon as he can. He'll start off hopefully in an Oklahoma bred non-2 allowance, preferably, but we'll see what they have to offer.
Horses continue to train every morning at Remington Park in preparation for the start of the season on August 23rd. A couple of notes about opening weekend. Starting at 6 p.m. in the racing entrance on Friday, August 23rd, the first guest will receive a Remington Park ball cap. Then on Saturday, August 24th at 6 p.m., registration begins for the popular free game, Win, Place, Show Me the Money, with a grand prize of $2,500 cash going to the guest who can play the game to perfection. In Oklahoma City at Remington Park, I'm Dale Day. Now back to Sports Scene.
And, Coach, we always look forward to Dale Day and those Remington reports coming back on the Oklahoma Sports Scene.
I love to hear about Remington Park. It's really a gem
no
in
doubt,
the middle of Oklahoma. It's something to have a track that's that vibrant and well respected around the nation.
And after all these years, still looks first class.
Absolutely.
1988 is when it opened. I remember I was there for the opener for ESPN, so did a great job at Remington Park. By the way, I was over in Oklahoma City this past week. I want to thank the folks of the Oklahoma Thoroughbred Racing Association having come over to MC their Champions Banquet, Coach. The top horses from 2018 were honored, including their Horse of the Year, led by Welder from Remax Farm, and old good buddy Dr. Z.
Isn't that something?
Robert Zeldner had a filly that won 3 championship awards named Sidney Freeman. So I want to congratulate Dr. Z and all the folks there. And again, champions being made in Oklahoma. We'll start looking at them again in 2019 with our first Remington report coming up when the season opens here at the end of the month. Right back with our parting shots. Stay with us.
Cheers. Cheers.
All right, y'all, how's everything tasting?
That is awesome.
I come bearing gifts of the liquid variety.
Bricktown Brewery. Come and get it.
TU fans, football season is here, and the Golden Hurricane has one of the best home schedules in school history. Season tickets are on sale now, or purchase our 3-game mini plan. The plan includes in-state rival Oklahoma State, along with Navy on Military Appreciation Game, and 2-time defending league champion UCF, all for only $90. To get your tickets, call 918-631-GO-TU or visit TulsaHurricane.com/tickets.
At Rogers State University, we keep things personal.
It all starts here.
We make sure our graduates get the most out of their education.
RSU has campuses in Claremore, Bartlesville, and Pryor, with on-campus housing and a wide variety of programs to suit your needs.
It all starts here.
Rogers State University.
Whether it's a wedding, birthday, family reunion, or company event, give your next big event a unique country feel at our Red Barn Event Center located just north of Tulsa. We feature plenty of party room inside and out for up to 350 guests, a huge open floor space, and even a big stage. The Red Barn features a full kitchen and separate bride and groom dressing areas. Outside weddings are beautiful under our 100-year-old pecan tree. For your next big event, with a do-it-yourself wedding, the Red Barn Event Center is the perfect choice. Booking now for future events. Time for our parting shots, and taking the first shot is Gil Cloud.
Fans of Tulsa, we had Gerry Ostroski on today. This University of Tulsa football team deserves your support. You need to call Gerry, buy a ticket, buy a package, buy a suite. They got a great home schedule, one of the best home schedules probably in 20 years. There's no reason why you can't go out to Chapman Stadium, enjoy a great afternoon of college football right here never have to leave the city of Tulsa. Let's go Golden Hurricane, and let's support our local university.
I agree totally, Gil. Get out there and support TU. All right, I want to start my parting shot by first apologizing to my son Todd. Apologizing for ragging on him for all that time wasted on those stupid video games, playing those dumb video games. Total waste of time. Then I find out watching Kyle Giersdorf, a 16-year-old junior in high school, won the first prize in the Fortnite, whatever that is, World Cup Esports Championship. I didn't care about that until I saw it. He won $3 million. $3 million playing a video game. The esports thing has just gone wild. It's attracted a worldwide audience. In fact, they had over 4 million players trying to get in the contest. They got it down to 100 players. They sat there at Arthur Ashe Stadium, home of our U.S. Open Tennis Championship event, out of a crowd of 10,000 and a worldwide streaming audience, and watched guys play a video game for 4 hours. How dumb is that? Until you win $3 million. Again, Todd, I apologize. Esports has taken off. Coach has said it's going to be now a $1.1 billion business this year. Revenue up 27%. Esports.
No question. The high schools, there's a number of high schools in the state of Oklahoma that will be adopting that as a sport. There's colleges and universities that have adopted it. The NCAA.
Roger State has one.
Well, we had Russell Fisher from the University of Tulsa come out and speak with our coaches. He's the senior compliance officer.
Right.
He said that's the most emerging sport in the NCAA right now.
And Tulsa Public Schools?
We will have at least 3 teams this next year.
Unbelievable. Well, I want to look at the Oklahoma Sports Hall of Fame, by the way, has their 2019 class inductees coming up on Monday, August the 12th, down at the Riverwind Casino in Norman. It's always a great event. The class of 7 inductees includes some great names, Coach, led, of course, by Bob Stoops.
Bob Stoops, I tell you, obviously 18 years. He deserves that. Patty Gasso, oh my goodness,
Wow.
what a run she's had. Mike Moore, Mickey Tittleton, Kendall Cross. I tell you, and the one that's kind of close to some people that I know is Lou Henson.
Right.
Getting in, and really Lou is the only Division I head basketball coach to have his name on 2 Division I floors at New Mexico State and the University of Illinois.
That's impressive.
Yep.
And a local guy from Lawton High School, Will Shields, who I just saw this weekend at the NFL Hall of Fame inductions. Of course, he has one of those gold jackets too, and he'll be inducted in the Oklahoma Hall of Fame now too.
I tell you, that's great news. I think the Hall of Fame concept is fantastic. I visited with Dick Ballen-Stephen, who's the athletic director for the Putnam City Schools.
Right. Oh, they have one coming up.
And Alvin Adams will be coming into theirs.
And Steve Largent.
And Steve
Right,
Largent.
yeah.
And there's one other one. I can't remember who it was right now. But really, what an outstanding thing to recognize those former student athletes.
And, of course, we have our own Tulsa Public Schools Athletic Hall of Fame that Gil Cloud himself started here. And Gil, another great class, and looking forward to that this year.
January 31st, it's going to be a really, really great night. We have 12 more coming in, and that'll put us over 125 that we've inducted in 8 years.
Hey, PBR Bull Riders are going to be in Tulsa this weekend. They're riding August 10th and the 11th at the BOK Center. It's the 25th season of the PBR. Unleash the Beast. This takes all the other events people don't want to watch in rodeo and just goes to the main event, bull riding. It's something to watch. Get out to the BOK and support our bull riders. Hope to have a chance to talk to one of them in the next show or two. Coach, we got a busy show coming next weekend. Robert Allen, the OSU sideline reporter. Zach Allen, NEONM head football coach. And we're going to promote the big boxing match coming to Broken Arrow with Tony Holden and Bill Haston and Richard Lenahan coming from Remington Park. So join us. A lot coming up on Oklahoma Sports Scene. See you next time.